Hey guys, Immersed here, and welcome to the Arcane video in Temple of the Jade Serpent. Just again, gonna look at the Arcane Mage and see basically what's new on him, what's his rotation, and there are a lot new things on the Arcane Mage. So first off, let's start by saying his entire rotation has kind of changed. You can spam Arcane Blast over and over and over again, however, you're going to be out of mana quicker than initially, basically, and I'm just warning you in the first place, this is a live commentary, so I'm actually playing right now, so excuse any ums or buts or uhs or... Anyway, so basically, as you can see, I have two charges, one that was right here and one that's right here, and these generate arcane charges, and this is an arcane charge right here. So basically, Arcane Blast generates a charge, Arcane Blast damage is increased by 22% and its mana cost by 125% per charge, and you can have up to 6 charges. And Arcane Charge is right here. That's what Arcane Blast does. Arcane Missiles generates a charge, and its damage is increased by 22% per charge. And Arcane Explosion refreshes a charge and has a 30% chance to generate a charge if at least one target is hit. And Arcane Barrage consumes all charges. Arcane Barrage damage is increased by 22% per charge and hits one additional nearby target per charge, stacks up to 6 times, and lasts 10 seconds for the charges. Alright, so enough of that, and we can start bursting out some damage here. So my rotation, this is my first dungeon as an Arcane Mage, as it is basically my first dungeon on all of the classes I've done this little series on, just so you guys can see the very first impression I have on each class. And basically my first impression is, it's fun, it's very easy to learn if you play right. And what I mean by that is if you sit there spamming Arcane Blast, for example, you will be out of mana very, very soon. However, if you consume the charges at proper times, you will be, you're going to be at a decent point of mana for the entire fight. So basically, we all know this fight. We're just going to go over here and basically wait for the adds. So I'm going to do the single target rotation on this target right here. If I can target it. Alright, there we go. So basically, my rotation thus far is I do 4 Arcane Blasts. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, and 4. I put Tempest Keep on. I forgot to do that in the beginning. And usually if my Arcane Missiles proc, I use it before the 4 stacks are over, but I didn't this time. And basically that's pretty much it. Now, I'll basically do I'll repeat it on the next target. So the proper rotation for the way I play anyway is I do Tempest Keep, which is on the target right now. I Arcane Blast, but see right now I have 2. I'll do 1 Arcane Missiles, goes up to 3, another Arcane Missiles, 4, I'll get up to 6 stacks and I'll cast my Arcane Barrage. But considering it's AoE right now, I'm just going to throw my Arcane Barrage out there and it hit all the targets because there's only 3 targets. So Arcane Missiles is up here, you know when to use them. So I don't have any charges right now. I'm going to use 1 charge, 2, another charge, start Arcane Blasting, put my Tempest Keep up, try and keep that up as much as possible. Almost at 6. I'm going to wait till he drops to use it on those guys. 37,000. Arcane Barrage, which is pretty sweet. Start Blizzarding again. And wait for the... oh, there he is. So, Tempest. Going to start Arcane Blasting. Get my missiles out there. And again, Arcane Blast. And at 6 stacks on a boss, I'm going to release my Arcane Barrage, but because these guys are here, I'll just release them on here and get them down that much quicker. so here we go. Let's get my mirrors out, get my heroism and my arcane power up and rolling. I'm going to ice block this so it doesn't hurt me. I'm going to go right back into DPSing. Get my missiles out there very, very quickly. 6 charges. I'm going to release my Arcane Barrage at this point, 72,000. I picked up Scorch basically so I can always be attacking no matter what the fight calls for. And as you can see, it's very useful in this fight. So I'm going to get my Arcane Missiles out there. Going to move once more. Going to blink up ahead here. Get 2 of my missiles out. And if you clip them, it still gives you a charge. So that's something to keep in mind here. Get my barrier up just to help my healer so it doesn't have to heal me, because I know I'm jumping in the water once or twice here. Now I know I did not do too much DPS in this fight. However, you still have to keep moving, right? So I'm going to get my Arcane Barrage out there again. And that's that fight. Alright, let's move on. So a little thing about the AoE fight I will show you in the upcoming encounter. I'm going to be using Flame Strike. And the reason I'm using Flame Strike is because basically on my Fire Mage video, the reason I wasn't using Flame Strike is they were dropping too quick because I was spreading my dots basically. And on an Arcane Mage you don't really have dots. So that's why I'm going to be utilizing as much AoE as I possibly can. So we're going to open with Flame Strike, do Nether Tempest. So Flame Strike, Nether Tempest, and we're going to do Blizzard. Still a decent amount of AoE considering, you know, Arcane Mages were never known for their AoE in the sense of the other 2 Spec Mages really just annihilated them when it came to it. So Flame Strike and Blizzard. And as you can see, they're dropping relatively quickly. And I'll just throw an Arcane Barrage in there. Use my Arcane Missiles to get 1 charge up for the next guy. Okay, Nether Missiles, throw out my Tempest Keep. And he's actually gonna... the tank is going to be extra daring here, so I'm going to oblige with a lot of AoE. And there you go, guys. That's on an Arcane Mage. Not a Fire, not a Frost, that's on an Arcane Mage. Now, Flame Strike does have a 12-second cooldown, so if you time it properly, you won't actually have to clip any AoE. But I'm still learning the Arcane Mage, so I didn't really time it properly, but I think I did okay. So there we have it, and just moving on to the next single target fight, even though this tank may end up pulling. Yep. So because I picked up Scorch, I can follow him while doing damage. Alright, let's get my Tempest Keep. It's not called Tempest Keep. It is called Nether Tempest. Get that up there. And what that basically does is place a Nether Tempest on the target, which deals 33,000 arcane damage over 11 seconds. Each time Nether Tempest deals damage, an additional 50% of that damage is also dealt to a random target within 10 yards. Very, very useful. And I can see that being one of the primary uses in Arena for a PvP example. Because if you're in 2s, it will do damage to both of them without you having to do any really extra work. Alright, so we're going to get my Nether Tempest, my Flame Strike, and my Blizzard out there. And also Blizzard slows them. So that's very, very useful for the tank. If, you know, if it loses aggro, they're going to be slowed either way, so very, very useful. This Nether Tempest will actually be great if we get the 2 boss fight because it will hit both of them. So we're going to use my Arcane Missiles. Getting an extra charge up before I start spamming Arcane Blast. Okay, so this fight, I'm going to treat it like an AoE fight. table while I have the chance. So Arcane Mages in and of itself, let's see what has changed. Arcane has a new resource called Arcane Charges, which I've gone over. Let me get my AoE out here and we can keep talking about it. Magic damage, magic specializations no longer get a bonus to Arcane Fire or Frost. Use whatever spell is appropriate. And I covered this in my other video when I said any spec mage can use Flame Strike, Arcane Explosion, or Blizzard or Cone of Cold. Now, wands are now held in the main hand, meaning they are now main hand weapons, so they would replace your staff or dagger or sword or whatever you are using at the current moment in time. Which is very, very cool. Inscriptionists are going to be able to make wands, I believe. Inscriptionists are enchanters, I think. Alright, so we're going to just, again, go back to our AoE. It's also very important when you're deciding what to do in a fight, you look at what you have in your party to see if a certain role, quote-unquote, will be covered. So I have a hunter and I have a monk. So I know that, you know, AoE may be lacking a slight, just a little bit. So I want to cover as much of that as I can. Alright, so right here we're going to switch to single target. We're going to blow my mirrors, my arcane power, get my Nether Tempest up there, and we're going to get to 6 stacks before we cast anything else. Before we cast Arcane Barrage, basically, to spend the 6 stacks on massive amounts of damage. So we are at 6, okay. We're going to get Arcane out here, and what you can do in this situation, actually I'll show you right now, I'm going to spam Arcane Blast until I'm low on mana, maintaining 6 stacks, maintaining the 132% damage. I will get to this low, I will then evocate, getting all my mana back, while still having 6 charges, doing more damage, 77,000 Arcane Barrage right there, and that is one way to maintain high burst damage, if you so choose. And basically, you can evocate, take a mana gem, and then if you need to, take a mana potion. So it's very, very useful to know the way you want to play your Arcane Mage. Basically, there's burst, there's sustained, and there's those are the 2 main ways. And what I mean by sustained is your mana. You can sustain a lot of damage with a good mana pool, or you can do burst while emptying your mana pool, and basically, you know, as soon as you run out of the ways of getting mana back, your mana gem, your evocate, your potions, you may then need to basically give in to playing a little bit sustained. Not too much, but just a little bit. So we're going to get Flame Strike back out there. I've decided to take up the AoE portion of this dungeon. And also to basically give you guys a preview on how well an Arcane Mage can AoE now, because we are enabled to use Blizzard, Cone of Cold, Flame Strike. It's very, very useful, and you know, I see a lot of potential now that Arcane Mages will be amazing at AoE and won't be lacking in AoE, like running in trying to maintain 4 stacks of the Arcane Blast charge on live right now while Arcane Explosioning is very, very stressful and hard. And once again, reminding you guys, sorry about the chugging. I am on the beta. The beta is, well, it's the beta. I mean, you know, it's not going to run 100% perfectly. And I am uploading my videos right now. And I'm playing the beta. So, all in all, I'm happy with the way it's running. I'm sorry if it's, you know, chugging just a little bit. Alright, so single target. Get my Arcane Blasts out there. And at 4 stacks, I'm just going to do that. Send out a Arcane Barrage just to, he was low health, so I just decided to do that. Alright, so I'm going to move so I don't pull the boss. That's That's a nice held and offhand. Alright, so Nether Tempest, my mirrors, arcane power, get arcane blast. I'm going to play burst on this fight. I'm going to basically use as much damage as I can. So once I'm at 6 stacks, I'm basically will be utilizing, oh, got hit there, will be utilizing my arcane missiles when it does decide to proc, because it does a lot more damage. 132% more damage exactly. And I'm going to be maintaining my 6 stacks with my arcane blast. I'm running low on mana. I'm going to evocate, get all my mana back, and if I wanted to, and I will actually do this, to get full mana I will use a mana gem and just keep bursting him down. Keep my Nether Tempest up, and again reminding everybody this is the first time I'm actually playing an Arcane Mage in a dungeon. So you gotta move once those come, and they will leave behind a trail you don't want to stand in. Okay, Nether Tempest back up there. Okay, I'm going to play a little bit more sustained. Okay, moving in to get my Nether Tempest up there once again. I'm going to use my Ice Barrier basically just to help with the mana, the healer rather. My Arcane Power is almost off cooldown once again. I will pop that, and I will use my Arcane Missiles, my 2 procs of it right now. Get a lot of damage in there. I'm at 6 stacks, and while Arcane Power is active, after I use this, I will be using my Arcane Barrage right there. 36,000 normal. Getting him down faster. And finishing off with a Arcane Missile. The tank is dead. Oh my god. Alright, and there we have it. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay, so open up with my Nether Tempest as usual. We're going to put Flame Strike down, and we're going to Blizzard. I'm going to put Nether Tempest on that guy, and that guy, and they're all there, so I'm not even Blizzarding, and look how much damage that is. So we're going to recast it, and I'm going to start Blizzarding after I put a Flame Strike down. Alright, there you go. Look at that damage. On an Arcane Mage. So that's very, very good. So again, putting my Nether Tempest out there. Flame Strike. And Blizzard. I'm really trying to pull the AoE component of this dungeon. Alright, and that's basically how you AoE as an Arcane Mage in Mists of Pandaria. It's very, very fun. It's very effective. If you like seeing big numbers on your screen, you definitely get to see it. Alright, so we all know what to do in this fight. Let's go ahead and go in here. Wait for everybody to get close. Alright, good to go. Alright, Death Knight's pop an army. Put another Tempest up. Get your Mirror, Heroism, and Arcane Power. And start spamming. I'm going to be trying a lot of burst here. So really bursting in Mists of Pandaria consists of trying to stay at 6 stacks, conserving your mana, and at the exact same time doing as much damage as you can. So we're going to AoE these guys down. Okay, one more. Alright, and going right back to our rotation. Gonna use my arcane missiles anytime they come up because at increased stacks they do more damage and also give me stacks for free, like it doesn't cost anything, so it's very, very wise to use that when it comes up. Okay, I'm gonna just keep blowing my mana because I know I have my Evo Kit up. Get most of my mana back. And there we go, get a 42,000 Arcane Barrage. Get a Flame Strike on the tank. Get my Nether Tempest out there. And start blizzarding. And there you have it, look at that. Look at their health. Get all my Nether Tempest out. Finish them off. Pop my Arcane Power again. The cooldown is 1.5 minutes, so that's very, very good. And especially during Arcane Power, you really want to try your hardest to maintain enough mana just to sustain your burst and be at 6 charges, as I am now. So I'm going to throw in an Arcane Barrage. And also, in the comments below if you want, let me know if you like the live commentary or the basically voiced over commentary better. Spreading my Nether Tempests. And blizzarding, and yeah. Getting them all down as quickly as we can. Alright, and back on the boss. Continue the burst rotation. Now, my nether is about to fall off, so put it back up there. I put Nether Tempest on everybody, and that does a lot of damage, as you guys can see. Okay, I'm going to evocate so I can do another burst phase. So I'll put my Arcane Power and start bursting the boss down for hopefully the last time. $100,000 Arcane Barrage. If you guys like instant spellcast and you like crits, Arcane is the way to go for you guys. Spreading Nether Tempest on everybody. I have enough mana to use a Flame Strike and a Blizzard. Gonna burn all these guys down as quickly as we can, which is pretty quick. And moving right back onto the boss to finish him off. And there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it helped. I hope it was entertaining. If it was, subscribe.